Question number 2. How would you ensure that county planning meets the needs of all community members, especially people of color, LGBTQIA, disabled, and low-income groups? Mr. Martins, you have 90 seconds to respond.
That's a good question, and I don't think that the county is in any position at this point to really look at that. We would need to clearly define what our operations are, what our impacts and responses to all people of all creeds, races, religions are. As we move forward, overreaction is just as bad as reaction in some, or can be just as bad as reaction. So it's something that I think that the county should be looking at clearly right now, making certain that they are prepared and making certain that they're addressing this need as we move forward into the, as we move forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Question 2. How would you ensure that county planning meets the needs of all community members, especially people of color, LGBTQIA, disabled, and low-income groups? Ms. Oshadish, you have 90 seconds to respond.
Well, that is a wonderful question. You know, I believe Kittitas County is a wonderful place to live and is does everything we can to have the communications needed to try to do what is needed for people within the groups you mentioned to have the services that they require within our county. Those conversations need to continue to happen because being a person that is of a collaborative nature, it is important that everybody within our communities is represented both fairly and equitably. So as Kittitas County Commissioner, I do pride myself on reaching out to people across all different beliefs and any kind of differences. But I think that there probably is still some work to do. We have seen some movements and people voicing that there needs to be, there are people that do need to be treated differently. And those are some concerns that I do want to continue to work on, because as a person that hasn't had to go through that myself, I still have a lot to learn. And it is my my goal to be as open-minded as possible to make sure everyone in our community is represented both equitably and fairly. Thank you.
Thank you. Question number 2. How would you ensure that county planning meets the needs of all community members, especially people of color, LGBTQIA, disabled, and low-income groups? Ms. Carricker, you have 90 seconds to respond.
Thank you for the question. So that's a really great question, especially when you consider that Washington State is 45th in the nation for mental health care. One of the things that I see as an issue, especially in Upper Kittitas County, is that we just don't provide the services that are needed. That's one of the things as your Kittitas County Commissioner, is to bring services for mental health, recovery, and family services. As far as the other services that were discussed and asked in that question, my slogan is for the people, and that's all people. That's not just one side or the other side. That's for every individual that calls Kittitas County home. And I don't have the answers of what services that I would bring in personally, but I think what would be more important is to sit down and speak with different groups and find out where Kittitas County is lacking and how we can help out each individual group that calls Kittitas County home. That would be a priority of mine, is to have an open door policy to be able to have those conversations. And really, we need to be getting services up into Easton and Cle Elum and Roslyn and Ronald, where we have the biggest infrastructure boom happening, but we just don't have the family and mental health services right now up there. So that's definitely something we need to be looking at and talking with the people that call Kittitas County home. So thank you.
Thank you.